Today's vlog is gonna be a little bit different.
You want my government name or my DJ name?
Okay.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got any sort of siblings that went into music like you? And do you rap a little bit? What's your like absolute favorite type of music?
And I'm installing like a permanent DJ booth in there. I used to be like the black sheep of the family.
What up, B Squad? Welcome back to another vlog. It's your boy DJ Bliss back with another one, and we are over 100 episodes in. I can't believe it. Been daily vlogging for over 100 days. Remember a while back I told you guys the plan was just to go daily vlogging for 3 months. I set that goal up for me, and I just wanted to do 3 months of daily vlogging and then see what happens. And then when 3 months came, I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna push it a little bit more. We're gonna see how far we can go, and so far so good. Well, that's how I feel at least, but definitely let me know how you guys feel, and I'd love to know what you want to see more of on the vlog, and also maybe what you want to see less of on the vlog if you know something you don't like. And I appreciate all the comments that you guys have been putting through, and also across all the other social media as well. Shout out to everyone who's been following me on Instagram too, showing you guys some love over there. I'm doing a lot of Instagram stories, so if you do get a chance, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. All the details are below, so you can check that out over there. All right, listen, today's vlog is going to be a little bit different. A lot of you have been asking me for these Q&A sessions to find out more about, you know, me and what I do. There's a video that I did when I started daily vlogging, which I highly recommend you check out. I'm actually gonna link it at the end and also put a link to it below. It's called The Truth About DJ Bliss. So definitely check that out if you have no idea who I am and what I've done before. All right, so definitely a great video for you to check out to find out more about me. But I also want to do this thing where we're doing like I wanted to do a Q&A, but I wanted to figure out how to get a lot of the questions. So an opportunity really came up on the vlog yesterday. I had a chance to get interviewed by a girl who's writing a paper for her master's, or for her PhD actually, and she asked me loads of great questions. I mean, the plan was just to put a little part in the vlog yesterday, but the interview went on for so long, and there were some great questions, and Vicky asked me some really good questions, so thank you, Vicky, as well. And she's also like, you know, kind of let us put the interview online. So today, the vlog is gonna be a series of questions that she's asking me. It's a Q&A. She's doing the Q's, the questions, and I'm doing the answers, so it's gonna give you a little insight into what I do and what I have been doing and what I plan on doing. And also it gives you a little insight into the culture or the music scene in the UAE as well. So some really good stuff over there. If that's what you're interested in, keep watching. If it's not, and you don't feel like watching the Q&A, you might want to skip this video and check back in tomorrow. We'll be back with our regular vlogs, all right? So I hope you enjoy this Q&A. Let me know what you guys think as soon as it's done. Let me know what caught your attention. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave those questions below, or you can also leave those questions on my Instagram, and I'll try and do a one-on-one Q&A real soon. All right, B Squad, so let's go to the interview. Enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the vlog tomorrow. Peace.
Do you mind stating your name?
You want my government name or my DJ name?
Both.
Alright, so my name is Marwan Lawadi, and mainly known as DJ Bliss.
And what is your name, like, you said government name? What does that mean in English?
Oh, in American they say government name because that's like your, what's the British equivalent? Like the name that's in your passport.
Birth name?
Birth name.
I think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does it mean, like, if you had to translate it into English? Like, what does Marwan?
You know, it's funny, someone asked me this the other day, and I actually don't know what it means. I don't think it has a meaning, the name, but I heard it was like a guy who was like a warrior or a fighter or something like that, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Good. Yeah. And how about your stage name? How did you go about choosing that?
So I printed these business cards once, and the only thing that was left was really just the name. So I wrote my email, my number, and all of that, and then I hadn't had a DJ name yet. So I was just thinking, and I heard the word in like a song. It was like, I heard it in 2 songs actually, and I checked the meaning of it. It was like extreme form of happiness. It was like a really cool meaning. So I was like, let me just go with this. And then that's like cool. Years later, it made more sense to me. Like, it's how I feel, how I like to make people feel when I'm DJing, and so it's got a pretty cool meaning to it.
So you didn't fancy like an Arabic sort of style name? You just went straight for the...
You know, like now, if I could go back, I would just put my own name as a DJ.
Yeah.
But back then, everyone was using like a stage name, so I was like, I'm gonna go with the stage name. But yeah, if I can give advice, anytime someone asks me about what name to choose, or if I can go back, I'll just say, you know, just use my own name, DJ Marwan. Just keep it.
Okay, DJ Marwan. Yeah, it's got a nice rig.
Yeah.
So I know you're all from Dubai. What about your family? Are they still live here?
Yeah. So born and raised over here. I went to school here. I went to university here. I never left actually. Aside from just holidays, I lived here all my life.
Cool. And so your family also, they're still here? Like? Yeah. And what do your parents think about, like, because, you know, there's been some changes, like in the past couple of years. What do they sort of think about the change?
Of Dubai, you mean?
Dubai itself.
It's a great thing, you know. It's definitely a lot to take in. Like, we saw the place really change, you know, as a family. But everything that's changed has always been for the good, or, you know, better roads, better houses, better living, better malls, taller buildings, bigger. I don't know. You know, it's always just been like, there's never been something where it's like, oh my God, you know, why do we have this now? So, you know, it's always been a good thing.
So, do you have like a large family?
Yeah, so we're 5 siblings. I've got 3 brothers and a sister. My brothers are all married too, so we got all the wives of the brothers. My eldest brother's got 2 kids, so you know the Friday gathering is
it's
a big
bit of a
table.
party.
Yeah.
And what sort of like, have you got any sort of siblings that went into music like you?
So my eldest brother was into music. He used to play the guitar, and he taught me how to play the guitar, and I started in a band. That was my first entry into music, but he never really pursued it professionally. So they all really went down the multinational companies and, you know, like having a day job. And funny enough, I used to be like the black sheep of the family because I was into music and I didn't go down the corporate route. But all my siblings have now swapped. So, you know, my 2 elder brothers started a restaurant, and then they did a TV travel show. And then my other brother, who was in finance, is now, he went to school for film, and he's like a director and filmmaker now. And my sister, who was in marketing, she's now a chef at the Virgin Island Hotel.
Wow, okay. So they really sort of flipped the boat.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how did your family, like when you first started getting involved in music, like you were in your bands, how did they react to your sort of interest in music? Do you come from like...
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, you know, it was definitely not easy at the beginning. You know, they definitely questioned me, but I wasn't doing it full time at the beginning. I was going to university, I was DJing for a bit, and then I was working, and I got into radio, and then I got into TV. So because I was always doing something else, and I wasn't just DJing, so they kind of like, they let it slide. I think if I was only DJing, maybe they would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started my own company, Bliss Inc, and then I opened the Barber Shop. So they really saw the business side of it, which I think really helped and allowed me to be free. But I mean, you know, they've always been very supportive. They never said no to me. They just, you know, like any parent, I think they would just give me advice on what to do. And at one point, they pushed me so much that I actually quit DJing, and I went to do like a day job for a multinational company for like 6 months. That's all I lasted, and then I stopped and went back.
I see. So do you play any other instruments? You mentioned guitar, like...
Yeah, so I play the guitar, and I play the drums also.
And do you rap a little bit, or you sort of done with that chapter?
Rap or sing, because we always used to do like singing like in bands and stuff, so music was in us. So when I put out songs, I was trying things out. But I'd never say I was a rapper or a singer. I was like just, you know, trying to perform on the song.
So what about, like, you mentioned that like the venues, like you have to play in nightclubs and places where sort of like, for example, alcohol is sold. What about the type of music? Like, do you have to play a type of music here to sort of be in a way like sort of noticed or successful? And does that like come under like some cultural sort of critique? Because most of it's like perhaps Western kind of.
I mean, the industry that I'm in is all English music. There's clubs that play Arabic music as well, but it's the same thing everywhere around the world. I mean, I've DJed in Germany, and you go in there, no one really even speaks English. It's all Germans, and we're playing like English music all night. Sometimes I ask them for like 1 or 2 songs, but even when I go to other places where other DJs are performing, it's English music all night. So that's the industry that we're in, I think, and that's why English music is so popular.
So how about, have you ever dabbled in like trying to do something more along the lines of Arabic music?
So I'll definitely play like a few songs. I've been trying to do it more recently, and I think, you know, why don't we play? I don't have an interest in Arabic music, that's why I don't play it. I wouldn't do a whole night, but I definitely think it's cool that because we're in Dubai, that we would have a night where we play, you know, a song by Justin Bieber or a song by DJ Khaled or someone like that, and then we have an Arabic song just to break it up a little bit. But I'm talking about just a couple of songs a night. The people in the clubs here in Dubai are mostly Western anyways, so, you know, that's what they want to hear. But I think, you know, they like it when you play Arabic songs, a little bit cultural, a little oriental, so, you know, it breaks things up a little bit.
And so what's your like absolute favorite type of music?
I actually like all kinds of music, but when I was in a band, I used to play alternative rock music, and then I got heavily into R&B and hip hop, and then when I travel, I play a lot of like dance music as well. But if it was up to me, if I would put a playlist together, or I could do whatever I want, I would literally play everything and anything that I wanted to, from 80s to rock to hip hop to dance, like just to have a party is the most important thing for me.
So you sort of spoke briefly about like your radio career. Let's sort of talk about that for a little bit. How long were you like for Channel 4, for example?
Channel 4, I was doing their weekend show for about a year, and I also did breakfast for about 6 months. This was like me returning to radio, and I thought I was ready to go back, but I had so much going on, it was hard for me to keep up.
Okay.
I was doing the breakfast show, and you had to be up at like 5 in the morning. It was very difficult, and you had to still DJ too. And I just got married too, so you know, all that together was just a little too much. But before that, my career started doing radio for a station called Free, and then I moved to Radio 1, and I was doing the breakfast show on there for about 2 years, and I did a drive show for another 2 years. So I did radio for quite some time, and I had a love for it, but the only thing is radio is really changing right now. So any radio you listen to, all the music's pre-selected for you. So you don't actually select any of the music on the radio. So, you know, that concept for me was like I'm being told what to do. And then to the point where they even tell you when to talk, how long to talk for, and what mood to talk in as well. So you go in there, it's like a system. It says here, this song, this song, this song. You talk over here for 30 seconds, and you talk about this. So it leaves very room for your own creativity. It works for some people. Some people love it and they'll do it. But, you know, for me, it was really just hard for me to
So you mentioned briefly that you sort of did get Emirati listeners calling in and sort of giving like negative feedback. What kind of stuff did they say?
A lot of people used to call me and tell me, why are you talking with that accent?
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm like, how do you know what my accent's like when I'm not? So I used to get that. And what else? Yeah, that was really one of the main things I used to get. Nothing that crazy that I can remember right now. It was really, that was one of the few things that I remember.
Okay, so what about beats and cuts? What was the thinking sort of behind that?
My barber, who I was going to for like 5 years, was leaving the country because the shop he was working at was closing, and I told him, I was like, how can you stay over here? He said, well, you know, I have to leave because I'm not going to have a job. So I just said as a joke, I said, what if I open my own barber shop? Would you stay? And he said yes. So that was it, yeah.
So I was thinking when I sort of came across it, I was like, there's like a couple of venues in the UK, certainly that are like, one of them's like a laundrette. It's like a working laundrette, and there's also like a space for like live performance. Like if you got like that type of situation, like is there like decks set up?
We've had DJs in our store before that we used to try out, and I'm actually moving to another location real soon. And when we move in, I'm installing like a permanent DJ booth in there, so it'll always be in there, so DJs can come in and perform.
Okay, so what about your personal listening habits? Like, where do you listen to music most, for example?
In the club, really. Yeah, in the club mainly, and then, you know, whenever I'm downloading music to prepare for my sets, that's really the main 2 times that I'm listening to music. Every now and then, if I'm cooking, I'm recording videos, or I'm not really listening to music in the shower. I tried it, but it's just like, you can hear it before the water starts, but as soon as the water starts, like you can hardly hear anything. So I don't understand the point of that, but mainly it's really when I'm performing and just preparation of performance.
So, like, you mentioned, like, throughout this sort of interview, you sort of hinted that while your parents are, like, super supportive and that whatever, there's this sort of, I don't know how to put it, like a withheld type. They're, like, on board, but they're kind of, like, sort of on board, but, like, on the edge. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, but it's really not like that at all. My parents are like, you can do whatever, you know, they let me do whatever I want. The only thing they really, like I said, the only time I really felt it was at the beginning of my career when they thought I was only DJing. That's when they were like, oh, you know, you want to look for like a day job, be like your brothers and your sister and all that. That's really the only time they ever said anything or acted like that. And also, I think sometimes, like, my mom would tell me, if I tell her I'm going DJing, and she'd say, oh, you know, when are you gonna stop? It's not really to stop doing music. She's like just worried about my health. Okay. She's like, why don't you just sleep and, you know, going out, and, you know, my mom's like, she just worries all the time. She's just thinking about the fact that I finish work at 3 o'clock and I have to drive home and that kind of thing. But, you know, it's like, even to put into a perspective of percentage, it's like 0% them having any problems with anything that I'm doing or have been doing at all. It was really just, it came from a place of just wanting, you know, something for myself, but they definitely see that this is what I love doing, and they're 100% supportive of it.
And so my final question is, like, I think you've slightly touched on this, but how important do you think radio is in terms of actually what Emiratis are listening to? Like, is it like a major part, or is it just
in English or Arabic music?
Either or.
I think it's not as important as it used to be, because now we have the internet and people are hearing about songs and hearing about trends way before the radio's playing it. Before, we used to listen to the radio to see, all right, what's that song? It rarely happens these days. It's, you know, it's hardly a situation where you'll hear a song on the radio like, oh, I haven't heard this before. It's already blown up somewhere, or maybe like 1 in a million chance that they'll do that.